There is a man named Gordon Petrak who spent 34 years standing over open engine bays in a two-bay independent shop off Route 30 just outside Valparaiso, Indiana. And somewhere around the year 2009, Gordon stopped doing something he had done 10,000 times before. He stopped cleaning throttle bodies. Not because they stopped getting dirty. They got dirtier than ever. He stopped because a service manager quietly explained to him that cleaning one paid him $11 in flat-rate labor, and replacing one, the whole electronic assembly, plus the relearn, plus the diagnostic time, paid the shop $400 and change. Gordon told me he never forgot the exact wording. "We don't clean carbon anymore, Gordo. We sell parts." Music. He was not a villain. Hold that thought, because I need you to understand that before anything else. Gordon was a good mechanic in a system that had quietly rewritten the math on what your car is allowed to need. Right now, as you are watching this, there is a very good chance that a shop somewhere has looked at your rough idle, your stall at the red light, that little surge and hunt when you take your foot off the gas, and written you a quote for a throttle body. $300. $600. On a European car, closer to $9. And the part they want to sell you is, in the overwhelming majority of cases, not broken. It is dirty. There is a difference, and that difference is worth about $595 to you and to nobody else. The fix costs about the price of a coffee. One can. And by the time we are done, you are not going to clean your throttle body once. You are going to build one that effectively cleans itself, so this problem never comes back and never costs you a dime again. Stay with me, because the reason nobody tells you this is more interesting than the fix itself. You already know the symptoms. Let me describe your car to you. You come to a stop at a light. The engine, which was perfectly smooth a second ago, drops its idle and shudders. The whole car shivers like it's cold. Sometimes the tachometer needle sags toward 500 RPM and hangs there, deciding whether to live. Once in a while, it doesn't decide fast enough, and the engine stalls right there in the intersection, and your stomach drops, and you crank it back to life while the car behind you leans on the horn. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe your idle is too high now, hanging at 11 or 1200 RPM like the car's in a hurry to go nowhere. Maybe when you lift off the throttle on the highway, there's a hesitation, a flat spot, a half second where the engine forgets what it's doing before it catches up. Maybe the check engine light is on. Maybe it's throwing a P0505 or a P0507 or a P0506, idle air control system codes. Maybe P21101 or P2135, throttle actuator and throttle position correlation codes. Those numbers sound like a death sentence for the throttle body. They are almost never a death sentence for the throttle body. They are the sound of carbon. And here is the part the shop does not linger on. That carbon did not come from the road. It did not come from bad gas. Your engine built it, deliberately, out of its own breath. I'll show you exactly how in a minute, because once you understand where it comes from, the whole self-cleaning idea stops sounding like a gimmick and starts sounding like the only thing that ever made sense. Before I show you the fix, I need to tell you about Gordon's logbook. Before I hand you the can and the exact procedure, and I'm going to hand you the exact procedure, the one most videos skip, the step that makes the difference between fixing this and making it worse, I need to go back to Gordon Petrak, because Gordon is the reason I know any of this at first hand. When Gordon finally retired and closed the shop, he gave me a spiral notebook. Grease-stained cover, corners rounded soft from years in a toolbox drawer. Inside were 34 years of what he called the jobs that shouldn't have been jobs. Cars that came in for a $400 throttle body and left running. Perfectly on an $8 can and 40 minutes. He kept the mileage. He kept the make and model. He kept, in the last column, the quote the customer had already been given somewhere else. I've read every page. The pattern is almost monotonous. A 2011 Malibu, 96,000 miles, quoted $540, fixed for the cost of the cleaner. A 2008 Altima, 120,000 miles, quoted $600, fixed for the cost of the cleaner. Page after page after page. Music. Gordon didn't keep that book to prove a conspiracy. He kept it because, in his words, somebody's going to say I made this up. So he wrote it all down. And the reason he could fix in 40 minutes what a dealer wanted to replace was not a secret chemical. It was that Gordon understood what actually changed under the hood of your car right around the time he was told to stop cleaning them. He understood the history. So let me give you the history, because it's the whole game. The thing that quietly changed: your throttle went electronic. For most of automotive history, your right foot was connected to your engine by a cable. You pressed the pedal, a steel cable pulled a lever, the lever opened a plate inside the throttle body, air rushed in, and the engine sped up. Simple. Mechanical. Honest. If that throttle body got dirty, the fix was obvious and cheap. There was even a separate little part called the idle air control valve, the IAC, whose entire job was to let a metered trickle of air past the closed throttle plate so the engine could idle. Dirty throttle, rough idle, you cleaned the bore and the IAC, and you were done. Nobody replaced anything. The knowledge was ordinary. Then, gradually across the late 1990s and through the mid-2000s, the cable disappeared. The industry moved to electronic throttle control, drive-by-wire. Bosch built the dominant version and marketed it, plainly enough, as e-gas. Now your pedal is just a sensor. It tells a computer how hard you're pushing, and the computer tells a small electric motor inside the throttle body how far to open the plate. There's no cable anymore. And in most of these systems, there's no separate idle air control valve either, because the computer now controls idle by cracking the throttle plate open by a hair, a fraction of a degree, thousands of times a minute. Follow me here, because this is the hinge the entire scam swings on. That computer learns. It memorizes exactly how far it has to crack that plate open to hold a smooth idle on your specific engine. It stores that number. Engineers call it the idle adaptation, or the throttle body relearn value. And as carbon slowly builds up on the edge of that plate, narrowing the gap air flows through, the computer compensates, opening a little wider, adapting, until one day it runs out of room to adapt, and your idle goes to pieces. Now, when you clean that carbon off, and you should, you have suddenly opened the gap back up. But the computer is still holding its old adapted number. It's still cracking the plate wide to compensate for carbon that's no longer there. So a freshly cleaned throttle body, if you skip the last step, will often idle worse than a dirty one. High idle. Surging. Sometimes a stall. And that, right there, is the moment the industry stopped cleaning them. Because a mechanic who cleaned a throttle body and skipped the relearn had an angry customer. A mechanic who replaced the whole assembly with a new part, which comes with the relearn built into the job, had a happy customer and a $400 ticket. The economics didn't reward the cheap fix anymore. So the cheap fix quietly fell out of the manuals, out of the training, out of the flat-rate guide. Nobody met in a dark room to decide this. It was just a slow drift toward the thing that paid better. That is not a conspiracy. That is gravity. The relearn is the missing step. And I'm going to give it to you for your exact car in a second. What you're actually cleaning, and why it comes back. Let's kill the mystery of where the carbon comes from, because it's the key to the self-cleaning part. Your engine, as it runs, lets a tiny amount of pressure and oil vapor slip past the piston rings into the crankcase, the bottom end, where the oil lives. This is called blow-by, and it happens in every healthy engine on Earth. You can't stop it. For emissions reasons, that oily vapor isn't vented to the air. It's routed back up through a system called positive crankcase ventilation, the PCV. and fed back into the intake to be burned, which means a fine, warm mist of oil is passing across the back of your throttle plate every second the engine runs. Warm oil mist, plus a little unburned fuel, plus heat, plus air, baked onto metal, over and over, for years. That's your carbon. It's not dirt. It's varnish. It builds up right on the edge of the throttle plate and around the bore, exactly where the plate seals when it's nearly closed, which is exactly the airflow the computer is measuring at idle. That's why a throttle body problem shows up as an idle problem first. The buildup attacks the smallest, most precise gap in the whole system. This is not folk wisdom. This is basic airflow. And once you see it clearly, the fix designs itself. Clean the varnish off, reset the computer's memory so it stops compensating for carbon that's gone, and then slow the rate at which the varnish comes back so the whole thing stays clean on its own. 3 moves. That's the build. The build, a throttle body that cleans itself. Here's exactly what to buy and exactly what to do. Total spend, if you own nothing, is under $20, and the consumable, the part you'll ever buy again, is the single can that costs about the price of a coffee. What you need. 1 can of throttle body cleaner. Not brake cleaner, not carb cleaner, not the MAF sensor cleaner. Throttle body cleaner specifically because it's formulated not to attack the sensitive coatings and plastics in there. Any major brand off the shelf. A few clean, lint-free rags. A soft nylon brush, an old toothbrush is perfect. Nitrile gloves, and a socket set or screwdriver to get the intake tube off. Step 1. Find it and open it. Follow the big rubber or plastic tube from your air filter box. It leads straight to the throttle body, a metal casting the size of a fist, usually with an electrical connector plugged into it. Loosen the clamp, pull the intake tube back, and you're looking right at the throttle plate, a round disc inside the bore. That brown-black crust around its edge and on the bore wall is your entire problem. Step 2. Clean it, gently. Spray the cleaner onto the rag, not a fire hose blast straight into the bore. Wipe the plate and the bore in a circular motion. Use the toothbrush on the stubborn ring at the plate's edge. You can gently hold the plate open with a finger to reach behind it, but on a drive-by-wire car, do this with the key out of the ignition, never with the engine able to snap that plate onto your fingertip. Wipe until the metal is clean and even. That's it. That's the whole cleaning. It takes about 10 minutes. Step 3. The relearn. This is the step everyone skips, and it's the one that matters. Reassemble the intake tube first. Now you have to tell the computer to forget its old adapted idle number and learn a fresh one on the clean throttle body. The exact procedure depends on your make. On many GM cars, turn the key to on without starting, wait a minute, turn it off, wait a minute, repeat a couple of cycles, then start and let it idle without touching the pedal. On Honda, start it, let it reach full operating temperature, then let it idle in park with the AC and everything else off for about 10 minutes while it relearns. On Nissan and Infiniti, there's a specific key on, key off, pedal press sequence, the idle air volume learning procedure, that people call the pedal dance. It works, and it's documented for your exact model. On Toyota, Ford, VW, and most European cars, the cleanest route is a basic scan tool with a throttle body relearn or reset adaptation function. Even a modest one under $30 can do it, and you'll own it forever. If your idle is high or surging right after you clean it, don't panic and don't assume you broke something. That's the computer holding its old number. Do the relearn. The idle will settle. I've watched it settle 100 times. Step 4. The self-cleaning part. This is what turns a one-time fix into a permanent one. Remember, the varnish is fed by oil mist coming through the PCV system. So, once a year, when you change your oil, pop that intake tube off and give the plate a 30-second wipe. That's the habit. It never gets a chance to build into a crust. And if you want to nearly eliminate the source, a small oil catch can, an inexpensive canister that traps the oil mist before it reaches the throttle, cuts the buildup dramatically on engines that are prone to it. That's optional, and it's the one part of this that costs more than a coffee. But with just the annual 30-second wipe, your throttle body effectively maintains itself for the life of the car. It stays clean because you never let it get dirty. That's the whole trick. Nothing about it is magic. Where this honestly does not apply. Now the part the parts counter never gives you, the honest limits. Because I'm not going to tell you cleaning fixes everything, and if I did, you shouldn't believe me. If your throttle body has a failed motor or a failed throttle position sensor inside the electronic actuator, cleaning will do nothing. That's a genuinely dead part, and it does need replacing. How do you tell the difference? A scan tool that reads live data will show you the throttle position sensor tracking smoothly, or not, as you move the pedal. Erratic, jumpy readings point to a bad unit. Smooth readings with a rough idle point to carbon. Measure before you spend. Always measure before you spend. Second, some throttle bodies come from the factory with a special coating on the plate and bore, a dull, sometimes greenish or grayish film. That coating is engineered to control the exact idle airflow gap. Do not scrub it off to bare, shiny metal with a wire brush thinking you're doing a better job. Wipe it gently with cleaner and a cloth only. Strip that coating, and you can create the very idle problem you were trying to fix. This is the single most common way people make things worse, and it's why just blast it out with a can is bad advice. Third, keep the spray off your mass airflow sensor, that separate part upstream near the air filter. Throttle body cleaner will damage its delicate wire. If it needs cleaning, that's a different can, made for the job. And what I can't give you is a leaked internal memo where an executive wrote, "Stop cleaning throttle bodies." I don't have that, and I won't pretend to. What I can give you is the engineering, the shift to electronic throttle, the relearn requirement, the flat rate math, and Gordon's 34 years of pages. Look up the codes I mentioned. Read what a throttle body relearn actually is for your car. Draw your own conclusion. I think you'll draw the same one I did. What this is really about. Let's do the arithmetic one more time so it lands. A shop quote for a throttle body on a common car runs $300 to $600. Gordon's logbook is full of them, and the median in his pages sits right around 540. Your fix is one can. Call it $8, and it'll do the job 3 or 4 times over the years, so per repair you're spending $2 or $3. The relearn is free, or a one-time $30 tool you'll use for the rest of your life. So the real gap, the honest gap, between what you were told this costs and what it actually costs, is somewhere north of $500, for a part that was never broken. It was never broken. It was dirty. Say that to yourself the next time someone hands you the quote. Because this was never really about a throttle body. It's about the difference between being a person who owns a machine they don't understand and can therefore be told anything about, and being a person who can pop the hood, look at a brown ring of varnish, and know exactly what it is, where it came from,